Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. I'm going to play one more time today just for fun. It's a quick little video. The SHELEE art bloom style that is just so popular right now. I'm still continuing to work on it. It takes lots of different paint products and experimenting. It's not cheap. And I'm going to pull this off because I want to save this pretty piece right here. That's the great thing about puppy pads, is you can just pull something off. I thought I would try an experiment, and I did it on smaller pieces of cardboard, and it actually worked. So I'm going to just show you two little 5x7 panels. I've got tape on the back of them. Real quick, it's from the SHELEE art style. She is Shelley Carruthers in Australia. She has a beautiful technique that she's had going on for several years. She offered a course and I took it, and I will post the link below where you can get 15% off if you're interested. It teaches her style, and of course she's in Australia, so some of the products are different. But she also has a private Facebook group for members who pay for her course, and there's lots of information shared there. So I've just kind of watched the feed and watched different people's recipes, and I don't think I saw anybody yet using unicorn spit, which I happen to have a whole rainbow of colors. So I'm going to try unicorn spit kind of into the equation here. So the first part of a pour is to make a pillow with a house paint, a white house paint. And the one that I've used here is Glidden Premium Semi-Gloss Pure White. And I've not bought a gallon of anything until I have discovered something that really works for me. And you could use pretty much any white paint of any sort, I'm not sure. But what you do is you put on a really thick coat, and I mean thick. It's got to be, that's why she calls it a pillow. It's a base coat, but you're making a pillow from the paint. So that is literally why the term is called a pillow. And you do tilt off quite a bit of paint, so it's not economical to do this style of painting, but if you can get it to work right, it's quite lovely. And I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that this will work for you on the video, because I do have my little experiments to the side, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it works. So that's the first portion, is just putting down a pillow of white, pure white house paint, semi-gloss. Some people use satin. And then your pouring medium, where your colors get mixed into it, the pouring medium I used is a Bare Interior High Gloss Deep Base. It must be a deep base, but when you pour it out into your cup, it kind of looks milky and thick, so it's an untinted base. It has no color in the can of paint. And then I probably put about 3 parts of that to 1 part Jo Sonja's gloss varnish paint. So that has become my pouring medium. And then I took my little solo 1-ounce cups and put a little bit of pouring medium into each cup, and then I put a squirt of the unicorn spit into each cup and just stirred it in. I used Phoenix Fire, Lemon Kiss, Golden Gosling, Starling Sasha, Sapphire Swift. These 3 of these are metallics, and their metallics are gorgeous. They are gel stains, so they're not paint, and they actually have a jasmine fragrance, which is quite pleasant to smell. And they are activated by water, so once they dry, if you put something water-based on it, it will reactivate it. You don't want that, so after it's dry, I have to seal it with a spray sealer or resin in order to keep it from changing on me. So I've got my little solo cups here, and they all have a little bit of this pouring medium, which is the deep base from Behr that's untinted, and then I put a little squirt of each color into the cups, stirred it up. So those are my colors. And then you have the final step of a SHELEE art bloom, or SHELEE art bloom, is the cell activator, which is only, this time I'm not putting wood conditioner in it or anything. This is Floetrol and titanium white from Amsterdam. Key is titanium white. And this is highly recommended to be some of the most successful blooms, so that's why I'm using this brand. I got it on Amazon. You can get it from a lot of the online paint stores like Dick Blick's and Cheap Joe's and Jerry's Artorama. And so it's a pretty thicker consistency where the paint kind of settles on the top and then dissipates, so it's not super runny. And then I wanted to try the same experiment with carbon black, and I just happened to have a little color pack of Josania's acrylics, and this is carbon black. It says matte fluid acrylic, so but I tinted my Floetrol with the black. So I'm going to do one with white and one with black. So praying that it's successful, because I've been really trying to get this style down pat, and it's been quite a challenge. So I'm going to do 2 blooms, I think, instead of 1, just for the fun of it. So I'm doing the orange, and this orange is really powerful. I noticed when I did my test that the orange really kind of takes over, and that's okay. I'm not opposed to that. This is the shimmery gold, and with the pouring medium in it, it takes off some of the brightness of it, but I think once it dries it will shimmer really well again. Okay, this is the Starling Sasha, and the last one is the beautiful Sapphire Swift, which does look different with the pouring medium mixed in, but hoping it will dry well. The other issue I've had doing the SHELEE art blooms is cracking, because I use polyacrylic varnish, and in my house I think it's just too warm, and I have not had luck with the polyacrylic. So alright, here's my cell activator, which is Floetrol and the Amsterdam titanium white. And now I'm going to blow, and I've also heard that blowing is a huge part of having a successful bloom. So here we go. And I'm going to let this sit and kind of collect back, and we'll see how this goes. And I'm going to actually raise that one up so that if it starts to drip, it'll be okay. I've got a lot going on this direction, but not a lot that direction, so I may blow on that with a straw. Let's see, let me just try. Trying to break up some of that surface tension, which it is helping it break up a little bit. So I'm going to let it just sit for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to put my pillow down for the black experiment. You feel like you're wasting a lot of paint on this technique. I will definitely admit to that. It just feels like a big waste. Don't know how else to quite do it, but that's the way it's done. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the unicorn spit. I've done a couple of projects, and they asked me to demo them, and I did a Lazy Susan that turned out really beautiful. And like I said, it's a gel stain. It is not, the regular colors may be a little bit more opaque. The metallics are definitely more transparent, and it has, like I said, a wonderful jasmine scent. They scented the paint, so it's kind of pleasing to smell. And but I haven't noticed if anybody did this style with that yet, so I wanted just to try it, just to see what would happen. I'm going to do a little extra blue because that blue over that Sasha color makes a really pretty purple. Okay, so now trying the carbon black. Cell activator. So I had a little quicker reaction with the black on this one than I did the white. I'm going to put it up here and let it be sitting for a minute. This blowing actually makes me kind of lightheaded. I'm going to take the straw and work on the thicker black areas too. Just to break it up a bit. Here we go, tilting. And I'm going to take some of this extra paint that's on one side. Oh, I'm going over my blooms, trickling. You don't want to do that. But I want to make sure I have enough paint so that it actually moves around for me. I'm going to stick my finger in and try to get some of that white out right there. Okay, and I've got some over here. Don't guess there's really any reason to keep playing with it. I'll just tilt. So your paint is pretty thick. The tilting is a little on the slower side compared to fluid art. And with the unicorn spit, you know, it may have a totally different reaction than traditional acrylics, because I'm sure it is a different kind of chemical mix up of color and whatever they put into unicorn spit to make it the way it is. Again, it's a gel stain, so it's got to be a little different, you know, compared to regular acrylics. So I didn't get the results on this one that I got on my trial piece, but it's still pretty. Okay, I'm going to leave this one as is. So there it is. It's become very watercolory, which is pretty. And I think with doing two blooms, you know, it kind of adjusts one or the other. Sometimes it might be better just to do a single bloom, but there's that one. I wanted to show you my trial that I did on the cardboard. You see, it did what it was supposed to do. I just can't really tilt it because I didn't put enough white paint on it, and it's cardboard, but it had a really pretty effect, and I liked that. We're going to try try this one. Let's just try. Some people, you know, kind of drag their stick sometimes through. So I'm doing that a few times just for the fun of it. Like I said, the orange is extremely powerful. It totally distorted this bloom, but this one looks really pretty. So I'm gonna, I think, pretty much leave this one, but I don't like what's going on here. So I'm just gonna try to pretty that up a little bit. I'm actually getting rid of a little bit of that orange there. Let's see if I can take a little of this pinkish color. So I like this one better than I do the other one. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. But there is some sparkle. And believe it or not, I feel like this has been one of my closest attempts to the SHELEE bloom technique, as far as it at least having a bloom effect, you know, that's pretty defined. So I'm just removing hair and drips. That one's pretty. I like it. So this one, the blue got totally lost, and it's pretty, but it's just way softer in colors and everything. And I don't know if you can see any shimmer or not, but it's still a pretty bloom. I will definitely cover these because the issue I've also had with the bloom technique is my paint cracking. That's why I wanted to try the Josanias instead of polyacrylic, because sometimes polyacrylic acts funny. I've not been a big fan of it this last year or so. So I'm just getting drips off the bottom. I think I'll call this one done. I'm really tempted to add stuff to it, but since this is not a traditional acrylic pour and I'm used to playing with my pours, I'm just going to leave this one as is too. And here was the test one I did on cardboard, and the cell formation is really lovely. I just didn't have enough paint to tilt it, so I'm still pleased with that. And the white one that I did a test sample on, I'm pleased with both of them. Just learning to do it larger style, you know. So I'm going to set these aside to dry anyway. I'll leave them uncovered just to see if they were to by any chance crack like the other, which I'm faulting it for the polyacrylic as far as cracking went before. So we'll see if that's the reason. And again, that was Unicorn Spit. I'll post a link below the video where you can see these. They smell wonderful. They have the jasmine scent. And I'm going to do a pour here in the near future with these as well. I've been meaning to play with them again. I've had them for quite a while. So those I will play with later. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Check the links out below, that's where it says show more on your computer or the down arrow on your mobile device. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and please share with other people. The subscribers and the comments and likes are what keeps my channel going. I appreciate all your support, and check out all the other links below, the Amazon recommendations. I'll post the unicorn spit below, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.